the new triangular approach to Indo-Pacific diplomacy. Why it is inevitable for India, Australia and Japan to form a trilateral. What does Asia do, as America oscillates between these multiple options in Indo-Pacific? How should Indo-Pacific diplomacy be demonstrated among India, Japan and Australia? GS Paper 2, Effect of Policies and Politics of Developed and Developing Countries on India's Interests. What is the context about? America's security partners, including India, are confusing about strategy and geopolitics. They started thinking that whether US allies and partners can continue to trust the commitments of Washington, or the confidentiality of their top-level discussions. Many nations in the Indo-Pacific are struggling to navigate a path between assertive Chinese power and the new uncertainties of Trump's America. Thus, to cope with the ever-rising power of China, the maritime democracies such as India, Japan and Australia should move beyond dialogue and build practical cooperation that helps all three. Why it is inevitable for India, Australia and Japan to form a trilateral. Delhi, Tokyo and Canberra want Beijing to know that it can't simply disregard the political and security interests of its Asian neighbors. America's Asian allies and partners want the US to stay strong in the region. They would like Trump's Washington to stop lecturing them and start listening instead. But unfortunately, America is now pushing itself out of the region. On the other hand, China negotiating a new regional sphere of influence for itself. Thus, it is inevitable for India, Australia and Japan to form a trilateral. What does Asia do as America oscillates between these multiple options in Indo-Pacific? The solution is not to assume that America has suddenly lost sight of its deep strategic equities in the Indo-Pacific, or that every country is better off imagining China as a core of regional and global stability. Substantial powers of many sizes, including India, Japan, Indonesia, Australia, South Korea, Vietnam and Singapore, need to steer a path that is steady and interest-based, avoiding both complacency and panic. A multipolar great game was already afoot across our two-ocean region well before the Trump presidency. How should Indo-Pacific diplomacy be demonstrated among India, Japan and Australia? Delhi, Tokyo and Canberra are the three best positioned to demonstrate the value of the new triangular approach to Indo-Pacific diplomacy. They could build the first of multiple middle power coalitions for promoting regional resilience, that do not include China or the United States. These include security dialogues, intelligence exchanges, sharing of maritime surveillance data, capacity building of military or civilian maritime forces in smaller countries in Southeast Asia or the Indian Ocean, agenda setting in regional forums like the East Asia Summit, and coordinated diplomatic initiatives to influence both US and Chinese strategic calculations.